All right, so you're here with us on the deep dive because, well, let's face it, you want to get to the good stuff quickly.
Skip the fluff, right?
Right. No one's got time for that, especially if you're in the sauce world.
Oh, tell me about it. Trying to scale, I mean, really scale, like from 50K a month to 500K MRR.
It can be a lot. Like, where do you even start?
You're drowning in advice. Everyone's got the magic bullet, but it never feels like the whole picture.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing today. We're going deep on this thing called the Ascend framework.
Yep, 7 steps, a whole system specifically made for SaaS founders.
That's it. Those who are ready to really grow. Because it's not just about grinding, putting in more hours.
Oh, it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. So we've got all these resources, really smart stuff, really detailed breakdown of this whole Ascend framework. So that's our mission today.
Understand this engine, this Ascend thing. How can it help us build a business that actually scales?
That's what we want to know. Not just hustle, but real sustainable growth.
Systematically. All right, so step 1.
It's called audit and align. Kind of a logical place to start, right?
Makes sense. But what does it really mean when you're trying to, like really ramp things up?
Yeah, why start here?
Okay, so think about it this way. Imagine you're driving somewhere new. You wouldn't just hit the gas without knowing where you are right now.
Yeah. Gotta check the map first.
Same with your business. Audit and align is about looking at your go-to-market strategy. That's just a fancy way of saying, how are you reaching your customers now?
How are you selling to them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at your website traffic, your marketing funnels, all of them, your sales pipeline, the whole thing.
Where are people coming from?
Yep. And what happens when they find you? What's working, what's not? Are there any bottlenecks?
So it's about getting that honest picture of where your growth is right now.
Totally. But then align. That's the second part. Making sure everything you're doing actually speaks to your ideal customer.
The ICP.
Yeah, your ideal customer profile. You got to know them inside and out. What are their biggest problems? What are they struggling with?
What keeps them up at night?
Exactly. Because if your message doesn't speak to those things, it's just noise.
You know, I saw this in the material too. A lot of times people just rely on one traffic source for their website.
Oh, yeah, that's a big risk.
Oh, yep.
Especially when you're scaling.
You got to diversify.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Okay, there's this pro tip in here that I love.
Oh, yeah, it's gold.
Stop guessing about your customers.
Just talk to them.
I know, it sounds obvious.
But do people actually do it?
Not enough. You get these founders stuck in their heads or they're looking at old data. Talk to your customers.
They'll tell you what they need.
Exactly. And then you refine your message based on that. It's way better than any guesswork.
Way better than guessing. Okay, step 2. We know where we are, who we're talking to. Now it's time to simplify your positioning.
All right, so this is all about clarity. You understand your customer, their pain points.
Yeah.
Now you got to explain your solution in the simplest way possible.
No jargon.
No tech speak.
Mm.
Because, and this is important, that the framework says confusion kills conversions.
If someone hits your website and doesn't immediately get it,
They're gone. You got to answer 3 questions really clearly. What do you do? Who is it for? And why should they care?
boom, boom, boom. And these questions, I feel like they're easy to ask, but hard to answer well.
Oh yeah, people get stuck on features, tech specs, instead of talking about the benefits for the customer.
Right, so how do you know if you're doing it right?
The framework talks about the 3-second rule. When someone lands on your homepage, can they figure out what you do in 3 seconds?
3 seconds.
That's it. People are impatient online.
They're judging you quickly.
Exactly. If they don't get it, they're moving on. There's a great example in here.
Oh, yeah, the AI analytics one.
Right. Instead of saying AI-powered analytics for teams, which is kind of vague,
Doesn't really tell you much.
they suggest cut reporting time in half and make faster decisions with AI-driven insights.
Okay, so the first one was kind of bland, but the second one,
It's clear. It tells you what you get, the benefits,
saving time, making better decisions.
and it implies who it's for, right?
Mhm.
People who are dealing with a lot of reports.
So you're being specific without getting bogged down in the details.
Exactly. And that builds trust.
People are more likely to listen when they feel like you get them.
Definitely. All right. So we've audited, we've aligned, we've simplified. Step 3, create demand funnels.
Now we're talking about getting people in the door, right?
Consistently.
Yeah.
Turning those website visits into leads.
And then into demos.
That's the goal. So how do we do that?
Well, the framework says you got to build these multi-channel campaigns.
Yep. Stop relying on those random traffic spikes.
Yeah.
Build a system.
They specifically mention LinkedIn, paid ads, and SEO.
Oh, yeah, SEO. Got to make sure people can find you when they're searching online.
So many founders, when they're around that 50K mark,
Their lead flow's all over the place.
up and down, feast or famine.
Exactly. So you got to diversify.
Don't rely on just one thing.
Spread your bets. Reach those ideal customers wherever they are. And then to capture those high-intent leads,
The people who are really
you
interested.
just got to offer something valuable.
Lead magnets.
Yeah, free ebooks, guides, templates, whatever makes sense for your audience.
Something that shows you know what you're talking about.
And gives them something useful right away.
Build that trust. And I love this other pro tip they have.
Oh, yeah, the one about focusing on one channel first.
Yes. It's so tempting to try to do everything at once.
I know, but you end up spreading yourself too thin.
You're not really good at anything.
Exactly. So pick one channel, master it. Build a funnel that works.
And then you can expand from there once you know it's working.
Much smarter. Okay, so we've got traffic, we're capturing leads. Step 4 is elevate conversions. Now it's about turning those leads into paying customers.
So we've got people interested. How do we close the deal?
This is all about optimization. Make your sales funnel smooth, get those quick wins.
Reduce the friction.
Exactly. You want to make it
That-
super easy for people to take the next step.
Book a demo, start a trial, whatever that looks like for you.
Yep, so the framework talks about simplifying your calls to action, your CTAs,
Those buttons on your website.
instead of vague stuff like learn more.
Be direct. Tell people what you want them to do.
Exactly. Book your demo now. Start your free trial.
No guesswork. And they have this crazy stat in here.
Oh man, the one about leads going cold.
Yeah, 70% of leads go cold because no one follows up within 24 hours.
Crazy, right? So
Yeah.
you got to be on it.
Follow up fast.
Speed is key.
And they give some quick fixes too. Just small tweaks to double your conversions.
Like shortening your forms, testing different headlines.
Little things that can make a big difference.
Definitely. It's all about analyzing your funnel, removing the roadblocks.
Okay, so now we've got some customers. Step 5 is nurture and close. So it's not just about getting that initial sale,
Right. This is about the long game.
building those relationships.
So they stick around, they buy more, they become loyal customers.
So how do we do that?
Onboarding is huge. Make sure new customers understand how to use your product, get the value out of it quickly.
Reduce that early churn.
Exactly. Because if they don't see the benefit right away, they're going to leave.
And then there's email drip campaigns.
Keep nurturing those leads who aren't ready to buy yet.
Give them valuable information, tips, case studies.
Stay top of mind. Be a resource, not just a salesperson.
Show them why they should care.
Exactly. Okay, step 6. Differentiate and defend. This is about standing out right.
Because there's so much noise out there.
So much competition. You got to show why you're different.
Why you're better.
So the framework talks about proof points, testimonials, case studies, metrics,
Show them how you've helped other businesses.
real results. And they say you got to own a niche.
Don't try to be everything to everyone.
Right. Focus on a specific type of customer with specific needs.
Become the go-to solution for them.
The pro tip is to literally position yourself as the #1 solution for that audience.
Okay, and the final step. Step 7, scale. This is where it all comes together.
Time to grow, but strategically.
Not just throwing money at the problem.
It's about using data. Track your key metrics.
Customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, all that stuff.
You can see what's working and what's not.
Double down on the good stuff.
Ditch the things that aren't working.
And they say you should review everything regularly.
Every 30 days, look at the numbers.
Adjust your strategy based on what you learn.
Continuous improvement.
Yeah.
All right, so we went through all 7 steps of the Ascend framework.
It's a lot to digest, but it's all about building a system for predictable growth.
Exactly. When you're at that 50K MRR level, you're trying to figure out how to get to the next
A
level.
lot of founders are just guessing. Or they're throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right, this framework gives you a process, a way to analyze your business, understand your customers,
Build those funnels, convert leads, keep them coming back.
systems, not hacks.
That's the key. So scaling doesn't have to be a mystery,
Nope, it can be a process.
a roadmap. Now, listener, here's the question for you.
Think about those 7 steps.
Which one is the biggest opportunity for you right now?
Where do you see the most potential for growth?
Or, on the flip side, which step feels like the biggest challenge?
Because that's where you need to focus.
That's your starting point.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where the Ascend framework can help you the most.
Food for thought.
Definitely.